What was that? What's going on, everybody? I'm Patrick from POWLAX, and in this video, we're going to be discussing the weird little set play that Chaos ran at the end of the game last night against Archers to basically screw it up and lose the game. And the reason we're going to cover it is because I've been there 1,000 times, and it's amazing to watch a professional team do it. You're down late in the game, you got to score a goal, you call timeout in the offensive end, and you draw up this amazing play, incredible play that's going to win you the game, and then the players throw the ball away. And not because the defense did something like incredible, but literally just because your players were taken out of what they needed to do, and then they were put back into what they needed to do, and maybe you got in your head a little bit too much and you want to do something a little bit too complex, and then they just totally botched it. Now, I'm not saying that's what happened, and we're going to watch kind of the in the huddle thing before as they were talking about it, but before we get into all that, make sure to check out POWLAX.com. It's got all of our, our drills, our offenses, defenses, man up, man down. It actually has something that is exactly the same as this play, which is essentially a way to get out of a man down situation or a double by using substitution strategies that were used in this game. So make sure to check out POWLAX.com, and let's get into this. So first things first, let's set the stage. We are in the, fourth quarter. There are 2 minutes left, a minute 49 or 46 left, and Chaos pulls it into the offensive end. They're down 2. They call timeout. So let's just pick it up here. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but so they're going inside the huddle. They're all talking. Everybody's been in this situation in a game, right? It's a really close game. You really want to make sure you're doing something good. And you can tell by how they're acting and by how Coach Towers is communicating. He's wanting to do something cool, right? And so what they're going to do is they're going to try to use subbing patterns to pull a defenseman upfield and throw the 2. Now, there's a couple different things that I kind of questioned in the moment. The first was that they used Jared Newman and not Costabile, because Costabile had 5 points by this point in the game. I think he was their top scorer as a defenseman, who I think he had two 2-point shots and then 1 single. But so why they chose Newman, I was kind of like, that's kind of weird. But so as he says it, he's like, hey, if it doesn't work, well, let's run the offense. They don't even get to that point. But so, and then you can see that as they're coming back and they're like questioning it, like, what's going on? He's like, what's kind of happening? You can tell that they didn't really practice this as much. So now as they take the field, we'll kind of just watch and see what happens. And then we'll talk about it, and then we'll talk about how I would want to run it if I had the time, which they didn't have the time. It's no disrespect to them running the play or missing it, because we've all been there. It's just, it was very interesting to watch, and I wanted to show you. Pass it over, sub through the midline, Pole comes out, and totally drops it, botches it. Now, whether that was because he didn't expect it to come or not, doesn't really matter. But so the whole idea was they were going to sub, and they were going to pull a defenseman in and to have him take a shot from 2, right? Because poles can shoot the ball faster than shorties, or it's just a weirder shot for Gettleman to see. He had already given up like 2 or 3 2-point shots today. So the idea is there, right? It's actually a pretty darn good idea, and now I'm going to show you kind of how we get to kind of where I found this and kind of what was happening. I want to say we ran it at Vista. I'm not sure, but so the first thing I'm going to show you is this. When you're man down, I've got a whole video on this. It's called Man Down Restart Trick Plays. You can run something like this, and so once you're in it, okay, what you're going to do, if we are the blue team, or this is the clearing one. 1 second, let me find the other one. Here we go. We're going to go bench side this time because I've got video of that. It's not queued up, but we'll watch it. So we are the blue team. Now, say it's a restart say someone had control after a quarter, and now you can draw this up, and now you're man down. Maybe you have to score a goal. Doesn't really matter. But so The ball is put at the face-off X or the face-off dot. Now what we're going to do is we're going to sub this midi. We're going to keep him high up here, and we're going to sub him over. We're going to sub this defenseman off, and now we're going to have a wide open player coming through the box onto the field, right? And so as we run this, he goes over, he goes off, he comes on, and now a couple things happen. First off, you're totally out of the double. Second thing is that now he could eventually go to the goal. Right now, they're all going to be chasing. They're all going to try and find it, but it's a perfect way to get out of that double position. So now we're going to head back and we're going to go to what the Chaos ran. And so I'm going to show you kind of like if I had the time and the ability to really draw this up, how I would kind of want to run it. Because you saw that as the Chaos ran it, they didn't do a very good job of keeping the defenseman away from Newman as he came over. So let's just head back to that for just a second. We're going to go. Come on, where are we at? Oh, I think I'm out of that, so hold on. There we go. So you'll notice that as they run the play, right, they don't actually swing the ball all the way away from him. They just keep the ball right here top left. And now, as he subs off the field, he's not far enough away from where Newman's coming on from to make this a bad thing. And now, what's funny is that as you get into games, you have these concepts that you want to run as a coach, and then you put them in positions where you maybe haven't practiced them, haven't done this and that, and these are the things that kind of happen because it was just a play that if he didn't expect someone to be in his hands very quickly, I think that could have gone a lot differently. Make sure we're there. Perfect. Okay. So here's how I would want to run it in the event, and you can run this with, however you technically want. But so what we're going to do, first thing we want to do is we want to swing the ball away from wherever the player is going to be coming from. So we're going to swing the ball around clockwise like this. Now, as the ball gets to this spot, this midfielder way over here, he's going to head off the box, and these actually three players are all going to cut to this side. And so we're going to sub the midi off, LSM on, defenseman over, and that's going to give us our 2. Oh, and there we go. So we're going to swing it down, over, and now right there, that's our key spot, right? So we're subbing this player off, this player on, and now all the attention should be on this quarter of the field where we're going to get this defenseman coming over. Now, it doesn't have to be a defenseman if you don't have that personnel. It can definitely just be a midi over here out of a timeout. Doesn't really matter, but that's how we're going to try to generate our shot. But so that is kind of the way that I would want to run that play if I had time to really practice it with my guys and exactly kind of what we would do. Now, we ran this a bunch in terms of that man down restart trick play this year just because oftentimes if you are man out and you get possession, you're going to be under a lot of press or a lot of stress, and as players almost turn the ball over, you're going to call timeout, and that's kind of the position that you get into. So it's a really nice thing to have, so make sure you check out that video. Let me know what you guys thought down in the comments section, and enjoy the games today. We've got Atlas versus Cannons. That's going to be like the real big firepower one. I've got Atlas in that one. And then Whip Snakes, Water Dogs. I'm not sure which order they're in, but definitely that Cannons Atlas game is one you definitely need to tune into. And yeah, so appreciate you guys taking the time to watch. Make sure to follow on YouTube. Hit that like button, subscribe, find the TikTok, all that kind of stuff. Have a good one. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.